few of my friends. I'll let them introduce themselves.
AJ.
Dre.
D Wade.
It's been another week.
Go put the pizza up, yo. That don't look cool, this shit. What?
We got some pizza, man. We had a gift from one of our followers, supporters on Instagram.
Yeah, supporter of all of us.
Well, not you. She sent us actually $100 gift. You know, said we could use it towards pizza or whatever we chose we needed to use it for. But she specifically said that William wasn't allowed to give pizza because he's not a father, man. We can look past it, man.
Nah, man, we still appreciate watching the show, but it's cool,
So that that person.
No, you can just have some kids though.
Nah, I ain't. Not for no fucking pizza. I don't give a shit.
That's crazy.
That's a good trip. That's a good trip.
Nah.
So we like to thank Kyrie Luna, aka Respect on Instagram for that that generous donation. So
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
How's the week been for you guys?
Week is cool, man. I gotta go to work on tomorrow. Yeah. I ain't been to work since quarantine started, so this is
Your first day back?
it's a bittersweet. Well, it's not sweet at all, actually. No, it's all bitter, man. I've been feeling the whole being off situation. You know what it made me think of? I need to figure out a way that I could get paid for doing nothing, because that was just blissful for since March, not doing nothing and being able to get my paycheck. I'm grateful of it, but damn, now I gotta go back to work. So
You think we would adjust quick?
I mean, I guess I don't talk to anybody anyway, so the quarantine itself has been a blessing because
already quarantined.
I was already quarantined. My life, I didn't even realize my life is literally like quarantine. So
you should though with your business though. You should maybe talk to more people at your job. I never know.
Yeah, I mean, I got some business from my job, but I want to stay at my cubicle. I want you to stay at your cubicle. If we do come in contact, cool. But yeah, with everything going on, like everybody got to wear masks when we in the building. I think we're expected to stay at our cubicles. From what I heard, they had some type of system with the elevators that only so many people can get on the elevators now. So it'll be a little adjustment to that, but otherwise,
I guarantee you, people at your job won't be wearing a mask in the office.
I mean, if I'm at my desk, I'm not wearing my mask. Just don't even come near me if that's going to help.
Hanging over one ear just in case you guys.
The one ear.
Answer your question
HR pull up with you.
You slide that joint on
yeah, like you got one headphone off, one headphone on.
With ours, I gotta be in the car with somebody for the most of the shift. So it's like, what is the mask doing if we right next to each other in the car every day?
Well, it's basically you protecting them from you, just in case we're just giving them the courtesy of protecting them from you. That's what your mask is supposed to do. And so
man, keep me home for all that shit.
If somebody got this shit, I don't care if they got a mask on or not. Like that shit is. I feel like they can give it to you regardless.
I respect your opinion.
Like that's why. Like, so if somebody got it? That's why they tell them to stay in the crib. I'm not trying to go through this shit again. Never mind. Come on.
Right.
Good.
Aside from that, though, shout out to AJ. Last week we was talking about him basically jumpstarting challenge between us. Not even a challenge, but I think more of an initiative for all of us to kind of work out and be more active and whatnot. How many miles you do this week?
I'm right under 10. After this, I'm gonna go knock mine.
So you walk and you jog.
I start off walking just to get my legs flowing and shit, but then I jog until I can't.
Explain what your initiative was, because I think you was like for the runners and walkers was like 10 miles, and the bikers, which is like myself and supposed to be Dre.
How much? I think it was I forgot how much it broke it down to, but basically like me and Tav be doing it on feet, and y'all two got bikes, so that's why I just challenge y'all on bikes, because I know neither one of y'all walking nowhere anyway.
I'm not. I used to be a walker, but I'm not no more. I definitely don't want to. I
had a transplant on my life, so
like y'all got the bikes and shit. So it's like I want just challenge y'all to use your bikes. You get what I'm saying? Like y'all ain't just got them just to look at them.
No, I definitely.
And I just like just for us
appreciate
to be active. Like I feel like we all getting older. Like we just need to be more active instead of just sitting around. Like I know me during the quarantine, I did a lot of just sitting around not doing shit, and I start seeing the effects of it. So I'm just want to get more active and shit. That's really it.
Yeah,
And plus, my
I'm
pop be
start this
doing it. Like he way older than both of us, and he be doing
Yeah.
crazy miles. So
Yeah.
if he can do it at his age, why can't we do it at our age? And
Yeah, his Facebook be popping.
yeah,
with
like
that.
I said, 10 miles for the week. He did 10 miles on Saturday. Like
Yeah.
so, you get what I'm saying? Like
I'm gonna start this week.
yeah.
I didn't do any of this stuff, man.
I was
just
extremely
I
busy last week,
I'm busy
man.
with it.
I ain't
I'm
do shit
busy
either.
with
The
it.
most active was AJ and Ty was the most active
Yeah,
this
Ty
week.
was getting it.
I ain't do anything this week.
This was a bad week.
Yeah, I don't want to use being busy as an excuse, and even
Yeah,
this
that's
week
what I
is
was
even
doing
going
a
to
lot,
use.
too. I was just making excuses. Of
Well,
why I didn't do it.
shit, I thought about that because I thought back and honestly, like I really am proud of you for one being the initiative or being kind of the leader in this situation, but two taking the initiative to do it because I know in the past when it was like workout sessions that we would do
You
and
already
shit.
know.
Right, you know what I mean? And I used to tell you, I'm like, yo, you'll make time for what you really want to do. So if it's like you saying you too busy to do this, and no, if you want to do it, then you'll set aside time to.
Because it really don't take that much time. Like I get out there and I might do anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I just do it first thing in the day, and then I got my whole day to myself now, and I already got my task completed. So
You know what it is right now for me though. I think for me, I usually try to hit like a goal. So if I want to do something for like an hour and a half. Like I want to ride a bike for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. But if I feel like I don't have that time to fit that in, then it's just like I really don't want to do it. Even if I got to go out for an hour, I'm like that's still a good workout. And I'm trying to get myself into being like you should still just do it if it's just an
I
hour.
used to do that too.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
felt like that a couple days ago.
Yeah.
But even like a little bit, like even if you get in half an hour, it work. That shit, it's all small work that just add up. You know?
Yeah.
You just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like, but you not active. You real quiet.
Yeah, man.
uh,
I've been meaning to be more active because they say that one of the top killers for our race is being inactive, and when you're inactive, your blood clots, you get blood clots, and
Tell us about it.
you get all types of clots, and you get all that kind of stuff, man. So
no, but yeah.
I've been meaning to be more active, but I haven't done any of that stuff, man.
I mean,
I
get
need to
in.
join the club.
Get active with the group. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
get
a
active in the
man,
group chat.
I'm
And maybe-
having a baby, man, all the time. So.
Well, no, I be seeing like it's like some people out there like they just be walking like they're just like it's no pace to it, nothing. They just be like kind of just slow walking and strolling. I'm like that's not really doing too much. Like I walk at a
Exercise
pace,
is
like
hard.
Yeah.
try to like a swift pace, so you get your like sweat and shit. Like
Yeah, get your
Yeah,
blood
exercise
get
is
your
hard,
blood
so.
rolling.
yeah,
But being in
I encourage everybody to just if you can do it. Like gyms is closed right now, so get out, get the fresh air, get active.
And it's nice out, so.
Yeah.
All right, man. So let's get into it. We got a good show for you today.
Yo, you cannot. You love that statement.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's
it
get it.
is per usual,
We
right?
have a
Yeah.
good show for him today. And let's get into the topics. First one is defunding police. That term sounds crazy when you hear it. It makes you think we're just trying to get rid of policing in totality, but it's not that. It's actually basically reallocating funds throughout the local government to schools, healthcare, clinics, housing authorities, all that kind of stuff. So it's basically taken from the police pension is a lot. People, even the guy who was just indicted for George Floyd's killing, he's slated to get over $1 million after he retires, even if he is convicted. And so over $1 million. So
I don't know
police
how that's
fund
possible, but
we know they got money over there that maybe can be reallocated. What y'all think about that? Have y'all heard about that?
I heard about it. I heard about it. I'm gonna let somebody else lead off though.
well, excuse me. To your point, well, just thinking about how much money he could get in his pension. That seems like a ridiculous amount of money. I gotta do some research on that. That don't even sound right that he could get.
I'm gonna just get an M.
Right.
Yeah, that don't even
That's
sound
for
right.
one cop.
What I
Right.
do know, working with the city and knowing the top paid officials in the city, I think the chief of police chief of police easily is top 5 paid in the city, and that's above the mayor. So, I can't remember for sure, but like I said, I know they top 5. They might even like number 2 or number 3. So that's just to give you an idea of how much you can make as a police officer, and even with like overtime payment and stuff like that. Defunding the police, Minnesota already moved to defund the police. Now, defunding the police isn't actually like dismantling police. That's 2 separate things. Minnesota, I believe, already moved to do that, or Minneapolis, the actual city, moved to do that. We're talking about it in the city as far as it's either 14 million or 19 million amount of money that the allocation of money that the police are asking for this year's budget, that I think Mayor Kenny was saying that they're not going to give to them. Like, he already decided basically they're not going to get that money. They're trying to figure out other ways to allocate that money in order to help with kind of what's going on with with Black Lives Matter, but more so like, where can we put the money that's going to be more helpful for the community, period. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
City communities, right?
I also read an essay, and it's kind of maybe getting a little aside from defunding the police this past week. That was, and I sent it to the chat.
Like the first half of it today. It was,
right.
I got to finish it because it was a good.
It was a good essay. It was a former police officer, and he was talking about coming up with different ways to take that money and actually live without police officers, which is, in my opinion, it sounds a little radical, because I think you always kind of need some type of authority. But those were one of the things that he touched on, was like, so I guess you're trying to wonder at this point, was like, so what do we do about authority? But it's like, he said more than 90% of the calls that go out to like police officers really don't have shit to do with crime, because it's always after the fact. It's very seldom that the police officers actually ask somebody, get somebody in the act of committing that crime. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the work that they're doing is like social work, being a mediator in a situation. And it's just like, that could literally be done by somebody who does social work, somebody like a psychiatrist or something like that, to be able to talk to someone and mediate a problem or get to a problem, an issue.
Right. Never thought about it that way.
Right, and then when you think about some of the crimes, people are like stealing for shit that they may need or something like that. Right. So we have the money to allocate to different communities. This is the reason why you don't need this to steal, because we're providing. You know what I'm saying? So it was like the crime rate may go down. You know what I'm saying? So
like, nothing's going to eliminate crime.
Right.
Like I said, police, I do think they still need it for like, the violent crimes and all that. Because if you had like just the streets policing everything by themselves, it's going to be wild, wild west out here. Like, so you need them for that. But like you said, just everyday stuff, like a traffic stop shouldn't turn into somebody losing their life. Yeah. Like me running the stop sign or a red light, it's dangerous. You should get my ticket and all that, but there's no reason I should be pulled out of the car, searched and all that for a traffic offense. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so the money, I think is what's been going on hasn't been working. So we gotta try something. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
What about you? What you think?
I think defunding the police is a good idea. Like you said, like, the inner communities, they need resources just like the police need resources. Now, I don't believe that they need 14 and 19 million in resources, whereas though we still closing down schools in our communities, because that's not doing nothing but putting 40 kids in the classrooms, and more kids is running the streets looking for things that they actually need. So it's kind of like a give and take, and try to make everything on not the same level, but you got to bring the bottom class to try. The upper class basically got to try to help the bottom class to try to even things out to make crime go down and things like that too.
Yeah.
What do y'all think though? So I would think if they're not going to get that $14-19 million, whatever it is in Philly anyway, that goes to, raises and whatnot. But that's an incentive. So always a raise is an incentive to keep doing your job or even do better. So if they don't get that raise, then how do you feel like the cops going to... The morale. How do you think they're going to react to that? Are they going
Probably
to
more
respond?
reckless.
Are they going to respond? Or they not going to be? You know.
I think they'll be more careless.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it. I think they'll be more careless because they'll feel slighted because it's a sudden you have a certain lifestyle that you're living. So when it's any deviation to that, or a dent in it, or a change, you're gonna notice and you're gonna respond certain ways about it. You might be upset about it if you can't do the same things, or basically because if we talking about taking away, it's going to be some type of cut. Maybe like you said, maybe in your pay or the amount that you would get in a raise.
No, I think it's funny you took that approach to it, because my approach was thinking just them being a line of fire. You know what I mean? Being able to or being more acceptable to being hurt on the job, and it's just like, I ain't getting paid enough for this shit.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, like,
but you kind of took the approach was like, my lifestyle is not going to keep up with that, which I think for the majority of people who actually work, you think more of that, because a lot of people don't love their job. You may like, depending on what you do. If you got a job, you got a career, your passion. Right. Well, hey, particularly I like my job. My job is cool, but at the same time, I'm still just like,
I need my job.
Yeah.
Y'all see this? I love y'all.
Yeah, and I you know what? I was just talking about earlier that I was having worked in almost 2 months and still getting paid. I love my job for that. Right. But it's like more the lines like the work that you're doing. You kind of want to make sure you always getting compensated for the actual work that you're doing. It's not always like, I love this shit so much you could pay me anything. But it's just like the majority of people, I think, are like the lifestyle. Cops are taking up overtime and everything because they want more money. They just,
it's not to help the community.
Yeah, it's not because I'm out here I may get shot. It's just like, yo, if I'm gonna do this, John, then I'm gonna get as much money as possible. So yeah, I agree.
Like
with
you
that.
said,
and to be available, it's always
it's
always available.
And to go back to what you said, a lot of them is just mediators. They either go out before something happens and calm it down, or after the fact,
right?
Where it's already done. The crime is already done.
Right.
So,
have you guys heard about Shadow Mike now?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell
us anything about it?
Yeah. So what I was saying was actually, I'm actually just a really big fan of women and just like particularly black women right now too. I think that as far as being leaders in different events, different campaigns, the way women kind of come together and get their point across is something that I mean that inspires me, honestly. Shadow Mike Now though was basically, let me just read this from my notes so I'll make sure I get this. Shadow Mike was a campaign to magnify black women influencers, stories, and their perspectives to help catalyze change via IGs of other influential white women. So you have black women who in their own right are big influencers. The 250,000
followers and stuff like
that. Yeah, 250,000 followers and whatnot. But then you got female counterparts of white women who have like 70 million followers. You know what I'm saying? And being able to take over their IG platforms and tell their stories about what's going on in their lives and ways that we can affect change in the black community going forward.
Right.
I think that's a big deal.
You're just basically giving them the black women their audience, right?
There you go. So
I could read off some of the names that was like linked together.
Well, let me at least give the founders of this right now. So the founders we got is Bosma St. John, who's a CMO for Endeavor, and a former executive of Uber. You have Lovey Ajayi Jones, Nigerian American author. And the two white women who were involved with it were Glennon Doyle, a white American author, and Stacey Bendent. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. CEO of Alice and Olivia LLC. So those four women were a part of it, and I believe this started off of just a text, and that was literally probably like a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago at tops. You know.
And Glennon Doyle, you mentioned, she's going. I guess her match is Tarana Burke. Everybody knows.
Yeah, I was looking at that right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Ain't that the lady that leads like the Me Too movement or
Yeah,
something?
the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she's the founder of the Me Too movement. So yeah, they got some interesting combinations here.
Yeah, Bozeman St. John.
So they
Courtney
basically
Kardashian.
gave the black female entrepreneurs their audience of the
Right.
Right.
however many millions
Right.
Yeah,
followers that they got.
just so they can get their message across.
And I mean, you had some
Yeah,
real,
that's-
like
that's-
again, you had some real noticeable names as far as the
Yeah.
black women influencers, but
Right.
and I'm repeating it again, it's like at least the ones that I know, I follow a lot of black women like that, as far as and they do inspire me, of course. But to see that they have like 250 plus followers and just be like, to me, that's a big
Right, to me, it's like you made it.
you know. But then I think Bozeman was paired with Kourtney Kardashian, who
Yeah,
has
I already know.
70 million followers.
Yeah,
You like, so you could imagine how many people that you could reach doing that, and to have the white counterparts accept them and you know, offer their platforms to do that. And the introductions, I think, were great too. I think they all kind of did it in their own way. One in particular, I know her name is Kalana Barfield. She's a black female influencer with fashion. I've actually had the opportunity to meet her a couple times. I haven't talked to her really that much, but I mean, in the exchanges that I have had with her, she's a very cool person. And Julia Roberts shared her platform with her. So I just think it was really dope. And the way she did it was she actually kind of just went on Julia Roberts' page and did probably like 3 posts, told her about herself, what she does in her industry, and you know, her experience as a black woman and a black mother. Someone like Elaine Welteroth, who started out with, I think, Teen Vogue. She was like chief editor of Teen Vogue. She did a lot of IG story and IG live on the page that she went on. I can't remember right now who page she was on, but that's how she did it. So there were various ways that they got their point across and was able to reach out to the platform of the other people. So
I think it's dope that that's females doing it.
yeah,
It's good to see females actually leading and leading with the work that they put out there, and also sharing it with others and different races. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a share the mic thing, not just, you know, a black thing or a white thing. You know what I'm saying? It's good that everybody came together, and during these times, it's kind of like you need that now more than anything. Like, you need that now more than anything now.
Right, and I think the majority of the white women that's like giving them platforms, I think is genuine. Like I researched it on like YouTube when you brought it up, and I was just seeing like their facial expressions, and like it was real genuine. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm just doing this so I can get a photo out.
Yeah.
But they was really like concerned and like with the cause that's going on. So I like the whole idea. That was real dope to me.
There's some nice notable names on here.
Yep.
Some people that I noticed. Senator Elizabeth Warren, like you said, Julia Roberts,
I
Katie
saw
Couric,
Carrie Champion on there.
Ashley Judd, Carrie Champion. She's on the ESPN. She's the ESPN.
Megan Rapinoe.
Megan Rapinoe. Yep. So
And,
Michelle Monaghan. There's some nice names on here.
Was
So
Cash
your
Doll
point.
Good job, Jed.
I wanted to see Cash Doll.
So
I was
you're-
trying to see Cash Doll on Miley Cyrus page.
So your point though, with them being real genuine about it too, I think what was also cool is some of the women didn't really know each other until that point, that they had met maybe a few days prior, and they had spoke before they shared their platforms. And then there was other women who were like, but who had been friends for a while, like who I mentioned, Kalana Barfield. Her and Julia Roberts had known each other for like 10 years at this point. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty cool.
Right. It's a nice little topic there.
Yo,
Shout
before
out to our Black Queens.
shout out to our Black Queens. Before we even go into that though, what did you? I don't think you see more of this with men. I have my own theory of this, but why don't you think you see more of this with men?
It's a bravado thing, I guess, with us, and testosterone, our hormone, just like, I guess, an imbalance. Like, we just always have to be the dominant one. I don't think we organize like a woman is. A woman is, that's why I believe women are very important in everyone's life, because they help us just balance us out. We more just go and get things done.
Yeah.
They more organized and structured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They bring that, that yin to your yang. You know what I'm saying? So they're very vital.
I think it's an ego
I think
thing.
that's what it is.
Like Quay, I just think it's more so an ego thing. Like
Women more apt to work
snappy,
together.
Like,
I definitely think it's a testosterone thing.
Yeah.
One thing that I was always envious of, again, a few women that I follow, I think it was like 2 years ago, they went over to Africa. I forgot where they was staying at. And they had a, not a getaway, what do you call it? The word escapes me. But it was like over 50 women all together. Retreat. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. They had a retreat over in
I
Africa.
thought you was about to say a scientific word or some shit.
Nah.
I had to say
Nah, that's exactly what I was talking about. A retreat. They had a retreat over in Africa, and it was really dope. They shared experiences. They were all from kind of like different industries, and like, say for instance, if it was somebody who did yoga, they actually had like a yoga class. The yoga instructor, they had a yoga class for all of them and everything, and that was over a length of period of like 5 days to a week or something like that. I was like, that would be dope, for men to actually do, but I couldn't imagine men past 2-3 days in a situation like that where it was just all men.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
At some point,
they used to
I would not go.
you would fucking go.
No, I used to like at church when we was younger. They used to have like men's retreats. And stuff.
Yeah, I know when you're in
But
church.
no, but you got 2 sons, bro.
Yeah, I know at the church, but I'm not going there.
But you go to
the
Boy
Boy
Scouts. But
I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about for you, bro. I'm not talking about for you to personally gain. I'm just saying like that was set up to like instill certain stuff as us. It's just like a kind of like what DA said. It's a community of men just coming together, helping upraise younger men. You get what I'm saying? That's what the retreat
I would
is.
do that. Yeah.
But that's what kind of it is. But I get what you're saying. Like as an older man, I'm not
going
going
on all of it
retreat.
just like a retreat just to calm down.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like we sit up here, we have serious conversations. Last week we had a really good conversation about fathers and everything. Like that was cool. If we were on a retreat for 5 hours and talking about that, we would have a great time. Like, that was really an uplifting experience for all of us. But if you go to the next day, niggas is just like, where's the women? Where's the drugs? Where's the liquor? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but it's other stuff. Like that's the whole purpose, though, to like not focus on the women. Or like if you got a bunch of dudes together, y'all play ball, play football, like just shit like a bunch of men do. Of course, you gonna want females around and shit, but
you just
have some fucking self-control.
Yeah,
no.
It's a retreat.
And honestly, I'm not
That's why
speaking
you
like.
got 7 kids now. Nigga talk about something.
But look, honestly, I'm not speaking like personally. I'm envious of something like that. Like I would want to be able to do something like that we could all just sit and refocus on ourselves and what we need to do as men going forward with our spouses, wives, you know what I mean, kids going forward in our community.
Right.
For a day.
For a day. That's cool for a day.
For it.
No, but I'm saying like I wouldn't mind doing something like that, you know what I mean, for like 3-4 days or whatnot. But I think the majority of men are on some shit like second day. Where's the pussy? Like, what's going? Like, I need to get back to my girl. I need to get back to my wife. I need to find somebody around here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You sound like a creep.
I know. I would.
that's just being honest. I think the majority of that is,
I know it's probably so much shit that went on that I ain't know nothing about when I was a young boy and shit.
Absolutely.
Because I know they had like women workers serving the food and shit. And at that point, everybody started looking attractive and shit. But they ain't nothing there and shit. Like, I ain't gonna do that though.
Hella look a little good.
The way
She got bad skin, but it's alright.
she got bad skin.
Bad skin.
Hella looking alright after that. Did y'all hear about what B. Simone said about us, man? Us 9 to 5 guys.
B. Simone?
Us 9 to 5
You know who
guys.
she is, man? B.
I don't know
Simone.
who
She's
she
like
is.
she's like a comedian, Instagram personality.
Yeah.
You know her.
So what she
Especially
said?
she sell like
She
beauty
basically
products
said
too.
that- well, I mean, I kind of don't blame her.
Hold on.
She said-
Wait.
Oh yeah, you gotta excerpt
Let's
from her.
see what she say here.
9 to 5. honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustling entrepreneur.
So you want him to be you want CEO status?
Yes.
Okay, he can't.
So
like,
he can't like,
clock in and clock out.
No.
Damn,
I
B.
think
Simone.
entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs.
Okay, but still, there's people who have really good jobs with vocational skills. If he's a mechanic.
I'm sure, but no, you're not gonna understand my lifestyle. You're not gonna understand why I'm up at 3 a.m.
Damn, you making this hard
you.
for me. Okay, all right.
You know, he has to be an entrepreneur.
A business owner. He getting one of them stimulus packages from Donald Trump, one of them small business loans, and he ain't buying jewelry with it.
Or moving into that direction.
Yeah. All right.
Go around here and say what.
All right, so what y'all think of that?
Well, basically, I think there's somebody for everybody, and she's just not for you. So you know what I mean? Like, just everyone's not. We're all put on this earth to be different. So if whatever that's what she prefers. That's her preference, and she's entitled to her preference. Just like how our name is, I respect your opinion. It's up to us as people. And I mean, that's been part of the problem. Why it's still so much racism now is people not respecting each other. You know what I mean? So respect whatever that's what she believes. You know what I mean? She's just not a person I would be attracted to. You know what I mean? And
I didn't take that as like she was like, because I don't think she even spoke down on 9 to 5. I think she just said, "You're not gonna understand my life."
All right.
So it was a lot of personalization for that. So I don't really kill her for that. Like, that's what you want. Like, whatever. Like, like, I don't care.
That's on her. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, that's on her. Like,
I do feel like, go ahead.
I think, you know, she don't know yet, but you know, that person that's a 9 to 5 or not even 9 to 5, she said somebody that clocks in and clocks out. Like, I don't know if doctors really clocking a clock out or not, but I mean, if a doctor was to come into her life, you know what I'm saying, that's might possibly be making more money than you and can provide better for you, and that might be the one for you. But you not gonna respect him because he a doctor, like, you know what I'm saying? So
she didn't say she ain't gonna respect him. She just said that's not what she prefers.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not what she preferred, but it might be what she need.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it plays both sides. You know, at least she knows what she wants.
Right.
She knows what she's looking for.
And she'll get what she wants.
I mean, she don't have it yet, but I mean,
I like for the most part that we all kind of just stuck on what she said and then go outside.
Yeah,
of
no, yeah.
Because I've been in conversations since that actually came out that was like, well, what if the 9 to 5 niggas make more money and the entrepreneur, because as an entrepreneur, man, you don't know when that check coming. You could be a struggling entrepreneur too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and I don't know whether this is what she meant at all. I'm just going over saying, like, just from what she's saying, she would just rather prefer somebody who knows the kind of lifestyle that she lives. And I don't think there's shit wrong with that, man. I could be up in arms, but at the same time, I don't really care for B. Simone either. So it's just like, I ain't fighting for you. As a 9 to 5 nigga, I ain't sitting up here like, B. Simone, you ain't going, girl, you don't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't
Philly gems that's over her, so
right. So I mean, just from that standpoint, what she's saying, like, I get that, man. She may mean that he may not understand the drive that she actually has. So if she up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing whatever fucking type of video she's doing, she
that's another reason, I think that's another reason why it got backlash. They already did other shit.
Well, okay.
So this is just like, I think this is like the second or third strike.
Plagiarizing, she got that.
So, and she also
that just came out like in the last 48 hours, 28
weeks. I'm saying like in the last 2
weeks. Oh, that was before? Was that before that?
She said something like, to the extent of being a Christian and just not something to the like oppose protesting sign. And people brought up videos like, yo, you post videos about sucking dick on the internet. What are you talking about? Like, so it's that. It's the plagiarism thing that you was talking about, and this is like the third thing. So they kind of just like, B. Simone, shut up right now. I don't know B. Simone, and I don't really follow, so I'm just answering our scenario from just that for that. Like, I don't have any
just
attached
that
feelings
alone.
to it. So
that alone, I don't really see what the big deal is. She said that shit kind of harsh, but I mean, for the words that she used or the point she was trying to get across. She just don't want to deal with somebody that's not in the same
But dude,
industry.
all right. So let's throw a little wrench in there. Just devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Does she even qualify to say she's only gonna fuck with 9 to 5 people? Maybe that's why people.
Is it a qualification though? Like,
yeah,
anybody
but you-
can do with anybody.
I mean,
No,
I'm
no,
a
no,
regular
no, no,
nigga,
no,
but I
no.
got
It's
my
like,
preferences.
right,
if I only want to date stars, then I just never
No,
date
this-
nobody until I got a star.
But this is what I'm saying. Like she's saying, like she only wants CEOs. Like maybe people are like, well, what makes you think you're even on the CEO's radars with what you do?
Yeah, but
know what I'm
I
saying?
get that, but that still shouldn't even be a factor and shit, because at the end of the day, that's still her opinion. And Nick said that. Nick was like, so you talking about CEO? Technically, as an entrepreneur, you are your CEO. You have your own
Right.
business, so that it's the same thing. And again, I think it's just how you say it and how it's presented.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's all pocket counting at the end of the day. Like you not really knowing what somebody got going on. Like it's like you looking from the outside looking in. You don't know their financials. You just know the highlight reel. Like we talk about social media, it's just the highlight reel. You see the ups. You don't really see the downs.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
And just
And I
as,
mean,
and
it-
just as much as she wants the entrepreneur, she gonna have to put up with the entrepreneur too.
Yeah,
like,
she
cause
handle
he's
that.
gonna have to. He might be on the road for weeks and
Right.
things like that. So that's what she want. Then she gonna have to abide by them rules also.
Right.
And we don't know if she can or not. But
It
I mean,
definitely ain't just say that a 9 to 5 nigga can't fuck with somebody who's an entrepreneur. To you brought up before the show started that, excuse me, some people who are in that type of business, like entrepreneurs and whatnot, they want somebody who's regular. You know what I'm saying? Like not in that business.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
goes on in those type of
Yeah.
in those type of circles or whatnot. So you may want somebody who is regular, you know, but that's just her preference. I don't see what the fucking problem is.
I ain't gonna kill her.
Yeah.
I think she just narrow her pool down to what she wants, and that's the person she wants. So just let her be.
God bless.
her
Yeah,
life.
I'm sure she
Enjoy.
praying on it, so you know, let her do what she gotta do.
Did y'all see little baby video? Or what you know?
It was a video.
It wasn't a
video
yeah,
for
it's
his
a
new
video.
song.
I
It
ain't
was
seen
a video?
I didn't see
Oh,
the
I
video.
didn't see the video.
I heard the song now.
Yeah, I seen the
And
video.
once again, baby's
Yeah,
on
that's-
fire.
Still not missing, man. What y'all think? Can you compare this wave to like Lil Wayne wave? Like, y'all starting to see that kind of status? I feel like Future had that kind of status
I don't think
with like a wave. Like he just had a whole.
I'm not gonna put him.
consistency.
I'm not
think
gonna
it's
put him on that
wave.
level.
I don't think it's
yet.
Future Wave.
Who had the wave?
Best believe though, he's on fire right now. Like everything he touching, he walking on everything. He not missing. He haven't missed really in a while, in a couple years, honestly.
Alright.
But I think Wayne might have went a decade. Like Lil Baby had I give him 2 years. 2 years, he put out some quality good music. Lil Wayne went a decade. Like Jay-Z, like a decade. We talking a decade.
Yeah.
So he got the potential. He's the one right now. He's the one right now for the potential to have that wave. Like even Future had a wave. I kind of think he still do got a wave. He still do got a wave.
I don't know.
I think he
I don't
still.
think Future
I
wave.
think Future
I
still
think
do
he-
got a wave.
I ain't gonna say he don't got a wave, but I personally think
Falling off.
his shit falling off. Like he had a crazy stretch. Like I think we not like what mixtape 56 Nights,
56
Monster.
Nights, then Dirty Sprite came out,
Monster.
and then
he had like a
And then the
run.
joint
Yeah.
with Drake, he had the album with Drake. What a time
Yeah,
to be
like,
alive.
yeah,
What Time to Be
Right.
Alive. Yeah, he had a crazy
I-
lineup. He had a
No, I
crazy
think
lineup.
it's Purple
I think it's
Rain.
more comparable to Wayne because like when we heard Future on features, it's usually like a hook that we might like or like what's the name, but we like in Baby for his lyrics. Like Wayne, that's what we like Wayne for, his lyrics and shit. He's like really he's on a lot of tracks. Like you go to Lil Baby on any streaming service you use and go to just the shit he on people's shit you don't even know. And he be on that shit giving them amazing verses.
Everything he got.
He be giving everybody amazing verses. So it's just like, I don't know, baby. He definitely, like Dre said, I think it's more so potential and everything. You got to do a lot to be on Wayne level. Obviously, he's not on Wayne level, but Lil Wayne even say Lil Baby his favorite rapper. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, he the one right now. He the one right now.
if the person y'all compare him to saying it, like he sees something in him too. And like I said, even the like lyrical rappers, they all bring up Lil Baby when you ask them who they like.
And I think that's what's the difference between this latest track that he put out was lyrically wise. He was speaking on everything that's going on right now, and he was
rolling,
snapping. Like he was snapping on the track. Like
So that's why I want to.
Did we
I don't think.
Song?
No, what?
The name of the song is The Bigger Picture.
Right.
And I'm sorry, it was not a video. I was looking at Instagram footage of.
I think it is a video though. I think he actually shot the video while he was out there protesting.
Oh, while he was out there protesting.
Yeah, while he was out there protesting.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
are people maybe I'm confused. Are people saying like the type of wave that Wayne had in Future had, or are they comparing it to like that's like the wave? Because I don't think he's like Wayne or Future in wave, flow, however you want to put it. I don't think he's like them at all. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I think it was basically this wave that he's having. You know, this
I guess
pace
his run, because he, like they said, he hasn't missed in his last. I say his last 3 projects.
Well, we talking
maybe more.
We talking about that. Like, what's that length of time though? It ain't no more than like a year.
That's what I said. That's
2
what I
years.
said. I'm saying like 2 years. I'm saying like 2.
It's going on 3 years.
Yeah, like
It
2,
might
3
be
years.
going on 4.
Like 2, 3 years.
His first song was "That's My Dog."
Okay.
That was like, and
That's his first mainstream.
And people might know
song.
it.
like, that's the
Yes,
first hit,
Indeed.
not first song, but
Yes, indeed, the joint with Drake.
Yeah.
That might be the one that
Everybody know that song. And
Right.
Everybody know that's my dog too. That's my dog. Everybody know
Yeah,
that.
they do.
he got a lot of shit, yo, already.
But he got a lot. He definitely got a lot, man.
Yeah, well, in that aspect, when you talk about like Wayne and Future, yeah, they got years in that joint.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a better rapper than Future already, though. Like, I think it's not.
That's
I don't
stamped.
even think that's not even an argument. I
Not
think he
even
rap better
debate.
than Future. Like,
You
that's
got more depth, or you just saying like his bars is better?
I think his
It's
bars
overall?
better. I think Big Future flows is crazy, but a lot of that shit Future be talking about, like, I don't pop mollies, I don't drink lean, I
They
don't
saying
pop
'cause you
perks.
can't really.
Like, I don't do it like it's just
That's what
it's
6ix9ine said too.
Fuck 6ix9ine.
Well, let's just take
I know.
take Lil Baby's most recent single, the one we talking about right now. Like, you wouldn't see Future doing something like this, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't
Not sure
see.
yet.
You not sure?
No, they actually they had a picture, 2 pictures up on the internet yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually shooting a video on top of a cop car. They had all this blood on the cop car and stuff. So we don't know what the song is yet. You know what I'm saying? So
But would you be surprised if he had that
Would I be
visual?
surprised?
No, would you be surprised if he had that visual of the car and the blood and everything and still came back talking about
popping perks. Yeah, I'm be mad.
You know what I'm saying?
saying?
Double cups,
Yeah.
Who you
syrup.
feel like? Yo, who your favorite 5 rappers of all time?
You asking me?
We
I'll
should-
go first. I
Go
don't
ahead,
care. Not no order.
No, we need order.
No, I ain't giving no order. Jeezy, Wayne, Jadakiss, Meek. That fifth I struggle with.
Hold on. Repeat that.
My favorite 5 that I listen to the most, like Meek, Jeezy, Lil Wayne, Jadakiss. That 5th one is hard. I got Gotti, Ross, Drake. Like that 5th spot is a toss up. I'm gonna just go Drake though. I'm gonna go Drake. I think Drake been consistent ever since he been out. Like that little ghostwriting shit was a little stain, but
I don't think it was a stand at all.
I think it was a stain. But that's not the debate. I know a lot of people probably like, how you got Drake and Meek on your list, but I like both of them motherfuckers. But it is
I
what
don't
it
think
is.
that's a problem. Shit.
I'll let you be surprised on the internet. You can't like.
Yeah,
both
I
of
don't
them.
think it's a problem.
You can't like both of them niggas. Yeah. So what about you?
Who you got, Drake?
I got Jay, Drake, Wayne, Gotti, and Ross.
Yeah,
That's my 5. That's my 5.
Yo, otherwise it's different.
I can easily put everybody can easily put Pac and Big in it, but I try to go different. Like I try to go
You can't easily put Pac.
Well, we talking. That's why.
Yeah, and I mean, Pac definitely wasn't like I fought with Big, putting Big in.
That's why we even discussed it though. We didn't say
I don't like when
who's
they
the
say
top 5 all the time. We was like, well, who's your favorite?
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it's our favorite, not
Right, it's different.
Not
it's
the-
it's your favorite.
right,
It's not-
right.
Yeah.
So my favorite are Wayne, Jay-Z, 2 Chainz. That's a surprise to people. I love 2 Chainz, man.
All of us.
In your top 5.
I'm not, it's
No,
my
that's
favorite.
not hit. That's
That's my
Oh, your favorite? Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
ain't the best rapper, but
Right.
he's an entertainer.
Nah, he be rolling though. Yeah, he a true
Entertainer.
entertainer.
With Drake and Big. So that's my 5. Man, I see like it's a consensus.
All 3 of us got Drake and Wayne in there so far.
Yeah. That's crazy that he even signed it. You know what I mean? A channel
Bust
type
up.
I want to hear Wade. This shit gonna be crazy.
They gonna say Kumo D,
What?
KRS-One.
I don't even know how to get the 5, man.
Damn.
But I know Wayne ain't in my top 5 of like I guess favorite. I like Wayne, but I got Jay, I got Luda, I got Fab, Drake. I don't.
That 5th is always
It's
tough.
alright.
dog. That
It's
fifth
always
is
tough.
Look at the 4.
I ain't the biggest.
I would probably take
Rap
Drake
fan
on
either,
mine,
but-
Valiant favorite was.
I do like. I always did like Kiss. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'll put Kiss in there if we gonna have to round out the top 5. But yeah,
I got a young rapper list too, but I know y'all don't really listen to young
Yeah, you
rappers.
the A&R.
I'm saying-
you gotta keep us.
shit. We was talking about Baby. I'm actually surprised. You know, I just hear Lil Baby and it's just like I didn't want to listen to this at all. But but for Lil Baby to actually have some substance, I was real surprised at that. So I do like Lil Baby, but
You
yeah.
know who was like that for me? I was surprised. What was it? YBN Cordae.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
surprised
he's
me.
good
I like
too.
him, though.
Everybody,
Yeah.
but that's
I like
his,
him,
his name turn people off because people don't. I don't know why though, because all the young boys is talented. Like
YBN.
And that's
all
funny
these
because-
young boys talented. Like even like you hate NBA young boy, but he
Yeah, I
talented.
don't agree.
Is he talented though?
I think
thought
he's
he
talented, bro.
He don't be
Y'all
talking
don't,
about
but
shit.
y'all don't listen to him, so how can y'all say that?
It's
I do
crazy
listen to
because
YNB.
Lil Dre put me on YNB Cordae. Like Lil Dre put me on that. Like that's crazy, man.
No,
But yes, you alright though.
No, he's
Alright.
he's
Alright.
good.
I
No,
like
he's
him.
good.
I like
He's
him.
good.
I like
He's
him.
not like what I thought. Like when I hear like Lil and YBN and whatever, I think of like people with bright hair and doing just out there like one hit wonders or one album wonders.
I mean,
feel
I
like
know
that's-
he a lyrical young boy.
I'm waiting for him to follow that up though, because he did put out a classic. That album was a classic. He gotta
I like
follow
that album. I like this
I won't
album.
say classic.
I think that album.
I don't think it
I won't say
was. I don't think it was
I think
classic.
it was.
It was solid though. It was a
Great-
solid
great
drum.
first album.
I
It was a
didn't,
solid
I didn't
album.
skip any songs on that, so I think once it's gonna age well, and I think it's gonna. If you don't think it's a classic, I do. You know what I mean?
Who else y'all think got it right now? Other than
No
I
songs.
know we talking about our favorite 5, but like other than Baby, Lil Baby right now, like who the other ones y'all think?
Following y'all lead on this. Go ahead.
I
Future
like.
still.
No, I'm talking about like
think
newer
Future
though,
still.
like new, like fairly new acts that came around to the time as Baby.
Uzi.
Uzi.
I like Uzi.
I like Moneybagg Yo.
Yeah.
I fuck with Moneybagg Yo.
Moneybagg.
Like, he be ruling.
I like Moneybagg.
Roddy be
Moneybagg
ruling
hot.
too.
Roddy
Roddy Rich.
Yeah.
Y'all like the Baby. I don't think none of us really like him like that.
I think the Baby is cool. I think he makes some good records that you could like really bob your head to. But at the end of the day, we gonna talk about like classics. If I'm looking at this even a year from now, I'm probably not gonna bang that Lil Baby song. You know what I'm saying? Like I think classic solidifies as kind of ageless. That's how I look at a classic. If I could play this 10 years from now and just bring me back and be like, I could roll to this right now, that's a fucking classic to me.
I think Cordae
But-
don't be like that.
I don't think I'm listening to the Baby a lot of his records 10 years from now and like still fucking bop.
Right.
Like if I hear a bop, I'm gonna be like, damn, I remember this shit was coming out. But I'm not gonna be 10 years from there rolling down.
Still doing the bop dance.
Yeah,
Like,
when I'm
uh,
fucking 41, 42, like
You gonna do the Pop Smoke dance when you that old?
nah, I don't like Pop Smoke, dog. That shit is
Pop Smoke too.
man.
That dance funny as shit.
Rest in peace. But I'm
How you
cool.
do it?
Pop Smoke ain't for me.
I just know the ladies, the girls be looking high in the club doing that dumbass
I had this renter in the studio yesterday, and a photographer, and the couple that he was shooting. I swear, yo, it's just trap babies everywhere. They was doing like a 1 year photo shoot, the mom and the dad and the baby, and they put Pop Smoke. It puts Pop Smoke on, but the baby was like singing the song. It's like, hey, like the baby kept saying, the baby literally kept saying, hey.
Lane's Carpet Cleaning is a family-owned business emphasizing customer satisfaction. We focus on delivering the best carpet cleaning and upholstery service experience one can find. Our top-notch cleaning service can help extend the life of your furnishings. Contact Lane's Carpet Cleaning for more info. You won't be disappointed. That's Lane's Carpet Cleaning, Lane's _carpet _cleaning on Instagram. Good Space Studio, which provides a photography space to rent for photographers and creators alike, promoting good creations, good vibes. Follow at Good Space Studio PHO on IG and Facebook. That's Good Space Studio PHO on Instagram and Facebook. All right, man. So y'all happy to have some basketball back, some sports back?
Yep. I need my sports back. I'm tired of watching 15 minutes of a movie on Netflix and cutting that shit off.
I think the gamblers is especially happy that this shit is back.
Money line.
Still seems like a long time from now. Still feel like another 6 weeks before the NBA supposed to come back.
Yeah.
Shit, you need that though as an athlete. Like, I don't think people understand that shit. I think when we were talking about it, just amongst ourselves in a group chat, I was telling y'all like they can't just start the NBA back up. They gotta get these niggas kind of a preseason a little bit.
Training camp.
Yeah, like a training camp. They gotta
doing now, though.
right, but I'm just saying, like, when he was mentioning that was like it's not back right now.
But I'm just being selfish as a fan. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. I understand why they're doing it, but I'm as selfish as a fan. We haven't seen any games or anything since all this whole thing started.
How many?
I definitely understand though.
Yeah, y'all know how many games were left in the regular season before it started?
I think it was like 11 or something, right?
No, it was like
I think it was like 21, 22.
I'm talking about that they want to play when they get back.
No, I'm talking about how many games there were actually left when
It was
they.
like close to 30. I believe.
There
It was 20 something. It was 20
No,
something.
I know for sure. I know for sure they only gonna play 8. It was 20 something
There was
games
20
left.
something games left in the season.
So that's why that's been I guess the debate with the NBA is trying to figure out like how they're gonna bring back the NBA in the 22 teams. I don't think it's fucking fair that they only bring back the 22 teams. I don't know how that works. How does the rest of the teams get paid? How do the rest of the players get paid? Or because that's one aspect of it, and then they do have just the 22 teams.
Well, they get paid. Well, it's the same thing, kind of like the playoffs. Like the other teams that didn't make the playoffs, they're not playing, but their players are still getting. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I get that, but
they paid the full season.
We didn't. Right? You know what I'm saying? They didn't get paid for their full season because we had that whole pandemic going on. So how do they get that? The 22 teams that are coming back. This isn't the playoffs. 8 games are actually a play-in. So how does that get dispersed throughout the rest of the team? Throughout the rest of the league?
That's a good question though, because I don't really know how that's supposed to work out.
I think that shit corny, man. And I'm still not exactly clear on that whole play-in type thing with the 8 games of 22
Basically,
teams.
if it's I read something like if a team is a certain amount of games out when the shit is over, they gotta play that team for the final spot. So if it's like 2 or 3 games separating the 8th and 19th, three games. If it's 3 games separating them, and when the season ends, the 8th and 19th won't play like a 3-game series?
Like a best of 3.
Best of 3, but the 8th seed only got to win 1.
Yeah.
That sounds like too much stipulation.
It is, yo.
But listen, y'all said that about the All-Star game too. Everybody said, yo, that's too much. They doing too much. And it ended up being the best All-Star game we saw in a long time. So let's just give this shit a chance.
I just don't like the fact
We
that
gotta
there's
give
no
it a chance.
fans.
We have no
Yeah, we
chance.
don't have no choice, but
I mean, we're going to be happy just to see anything at this
Basketball.
point. Like,
Yeah.
we was watching golf on this joint 2 weeks ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Kobe betting on all that shit.
like, I'm just ready
on
to
birdies
just...
and shit.
Yo, y'all know
Wherever it's going to be this year, regardless, whoever win the chip is going to have that little asterisk on it or whatever. And
yeah,
just,
like the lockout deal. I feel like that about the lockout season.
Nah, I don't feel like
No?
that
I
because
don't
they
think- I don't
didn't.
think that shit
Because
has
I
no
feel like
asterisk.
they played 3/4 of the year and then this happened,
I
so
don't
they
think
had
it
to
should have
stop.
an asterisk though, because every team going through the same shit. Like,
Hey, no one got an advantage.
it's the same shit. It's the same shit. Like everybody's getting a chance to heal up. Everybody getting rest. It's the
Yeah,
same shit.
but
It's
then
the
it comes
same
to
shit.
Some teams
but then
is better than
but
other
now
teams.
but no, but you can't say that though because then they're gonna come to home court advantages.
There's no,
And that's what I'm saying. There's none right now because we all gonna be playing at a neutral site.
especially
But
that's
some
when the
teams,
better team
but
come out
some
more.
teams
That's
naturally
true, though.
play
No,
better
that's
at
true, though,
home
Dre.
than on the
That is
road.
true. That is true. That's a big thing.
Not
I
to
ain't think
even be biased, but look
You're
at the
right.
Sixers.
that. No, you're right. You're
Sixers
exactly
are
right about
great
that.
at home.
Right.
They go on the road and they're a whole different team.
Yeah, they
They
done
be on
shit.
the
So
road.
now you playing at a neutral site and
So
naturally they on the road. And there's no fans there. Like that's gonna be a whole
maybe
new
that might be
aspect of the
different.
The
game.
no
like-
fan shit is going to help out a lot of players. Like I think like a player like Ben Simmons not playing in front of fans is going to be crazy. Like just me personally, because I seen him in the summer setting where don't be no fans around. His game totally different.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like I think a
Fadeaways,
lot of his
threes,
shit,
everything. Like
he don't want to get booed, and I think he a sensitive player for real, for real.
I hate
So I
those.
think
It's-
him not having no fans around, I think he gonna be turned the fuck up in like in Orlando. Honestly,
Yeah,
like,
he might.
I think a lot of players like just
Captain Kyrie.
you know.
it's really gonna look like 2K when you go in practice mode or something.
Yeah.
Like it's really gonna look like that.
I mean,
like, for
shout
the
out
game.
to the big winners in this fucking Disney for real. Like being able to house this.
Yeah, but you know they told the players that them and their families can't go on no rides and no shit. Right?
Yeah, like they can't.
You ain't know that?
Yeah, like they're still isolated in a way. Like
You ain't know
saying
that?
they can't travel.
No, it's funny as shit to hear. Like y'all can't get on no
yeah, like
rides.
they
y'all
can't travel
go
or
on-
nothing. Like
Yeah, I know they can't see their family for like over a month, which is pretty wild. But you know what I mean, which is like what Kyrie Irving kind of brought up, right? Is that what it was up?
I don't think, but no, I know Kyrie Irving shit didn't have nothing to do with the pandemic. They can't do that, but for the pandemic,
Right.
Kyrie, like I'll say a statement. Basically, backstory was Kyrie was lead. It was a Zoom call like of anywhere from like 100 to 200 NBA players just to talk about the NBA restart. And Kyrie basically was like he don't support it. His exact statement was I don't support going into Orlando. I'm not with the systematic racism and the bullshit. Something smells a little fishy. Whether we want to admit it or not, we are targeted as black men every day we wake up. And my opinion, I don't see how playing basketball would affect that fight. I just don't see it. Now maybe I can be informed on it, but I personally don't see it because if the pandemic never happened, basketball would have never stopped. And if the pandemic don't happen and this happened, y'all still would have been playing ball. Like other black men have been killed. Y'all never canceled a game over it. Y'all never stopped the NBA over it. So it's like,
But
like you said, you're not even playing, Kyrie. So
yeah,
it's like,
like
what
that's
are
my
you?
thing.
You just trying to be relevant still.
I feel no, I don't feel I get his point. I get his point a little bit, but I don't get how like people. I don't think everybody should stop playing basketball. If you feel like you that, you don't play.
But I don't think the season should end over it.
Yeah, I don't think so
this.
either.
Like,
I
for
don't think so
instance,
either.
look at when 9/11 happened. You know what I'm saying? The sports didn't end when 9/11 happened. And we talking about
But that was
3,000, 4,000
That was in New York though.
All right,
This
this
is
was in
worldwide.
Minnesota.
This
Like,
is, are you talking about the George
I'm
Floyd?
just I'm just saying
I'm talking
like
about
he's
NBA.
saying that the NBA shouldn't cancel because of what happened with the George Floyd and the whole Black Lives Matter thing. He's not talking about the pandemic.
I think he's speaking more to, again, the George Floyd situation, but you know, the whole bigger picture of social injustice for black people. But I think he's saying that the NBA isn't really taking that into account. So they're not
Excuse me.
so they're not asking the other players, like, I guess, how they feel about the situation. Like, it's more of a, this is just a business type of thing right now at this point. Let's just get back to basketball without even thinking, like, how is this affecting anybody else?
Just
Players.
black players.
Yeah, like black players going through anything, and that's cool. I think the biggest backlash from a lot of people is Kyrie Irving's not even playing. So I think
Yeah, like you don't know, like he got
Well,
surgery.
He
He
knew
on.
that, like two
he's out.
Lakers agree with him, and they're a prominent.
Well,
force.
I mean,
like,
that's-
the Dwight Howard and
No.
Avery Bradley agreed with him.
Dwight Howard
No.
don't count.
No.
Well, y'all
So
can't-
LeBron wants to play.
LeBron,
not saying
LeBron wants to
we
play.
playing.
Dwight Howard at one point, cool, he was here, but right now, Dwight Howard is a backup player right now.
Okay,
The
so what
Lakers.
if 4 backup players on his team don't want to show up and play, and now they don't have a roster to play?
Right, I get that, but what I'm talking about as far as just influence, and you know how big influences are in our culture. We were talking about earlier with the share your mic now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How big influencer are you? 250,000. That seems like it's big. Now you think about, you know, the
2.5
mass
million.
2.5 million. You know what I mean? Some of these athletes have these million of followers as backups, and then you got somebody like LeBron who has like 40 million. That's just off the top of my head, but I'm sure he has 40 million plus followers as in comparison. You get what I'm saying? So it just depends, I think, who is speaking on it. And for Kyrie to be as well known as he is, cool. But again, he's not even playing, so that's one thing. And you get like, say LeBron said this shit, like it would be totally different. We'll have a totally different discussion of what LeBron feels as far as why are we starting back up basketball and not kind of facing this right now. You get what I'm saying?
Right. And LeBron actually wants to play, and he's actually
He said he want to do both.
And he's actually doing something else too to put towards the Black Lives Matters cause. But he also still wants to play. He wants to get to Orlando and get these games in and ball. But like you said, Kyrie Irving, like he doing all this chit chat, and you just got surgery and you're not even playing.
I don't blame Kyrie, and again, I don't blame Kyrie for actually voicing his opinion. I mean, that's his opinion.
like
That's how he
that.
feels.
No, that's
I
your,
fuck
no,
with
that's your opinion, and that's fine. But I mean, I think you gotta finish the season.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry,
I think
you gotta finish the season.
with him, it was more like he was saying he's not going to go to Orlando or something. It's like,
Yeah,
all right,
Right.
like, all right, like,
But,
you sitting on the
that's
bench in a
point I
suit
was-
every game anyway. Like
all right, like,
it didn't matter. Like him or KD not playing for the rest of the year for the Nets. Like it's just
Right.
it is what it is.
He said he made it clear he opposed going to Orlando and he would rather work on the front lines in his community to focus on racial oppression and systematic racism.
And I
he
think
said
that's
he's willing
dope.
to give up everything he has for the reform. That's what he said out of his mouth.
And I
That's
think
great.
that's
It
respectable.
is.
I think
But
that's
like I said,
respectable.
I respect it too. But I don't think you should urge everybody else to do what you choose to do. Like
Yeah.
it should be a set group. If you choose to give up everything for that, that's fine. You shouldn't
Cat
require
did it.
everybody to do it. You
I
know
don't,
what I'm saying?
and I don't think the NBA is in the wrong for trying to start the season.
They're
like
not
that.
in the wrong for
Nah,
trying to start the season.
of course
like
not.
that. The NBA, I think, has been the most
Progressive.
like when it comes to racial issues. That's been the best league for black men. Like as far as like when like issues happen, like they support like protesting and all that shit.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't see why that's starting up with.
I mean, wait, let's talk about that for a second, dog. Because I definitely agree with you, and I think it's more of an individual movement with the NBA, and I appreciate that. Like LeBron can get out there and just say what he needs to say, or in this context, Kyrie can get out there and say what he want to say. I think the NFL, I still got bad blood with the NFL. Even now, when Roger Goodell comes out and say we got it wrong years ago, or the NFL speaks out and say we're with the black community, or we're against social injustice or whatnot. I just think of it like the NFL just trying to save face with all this. Even like I said with their post or whatnot. And I would love to see more individual like efforts from NFL players instead of being more with the NFL. Like I think they had a commercial or something. Y'all saw the commercial with the NFL players and it was like labeled NFL. I would rather just see the individuals of them just kind of do it. And I think in the NBA you do have more individuals as players just like posting how they feel.
Right. And I think a lot of NFL players don't do it because they saw Cap do it, and he basically lost his job because of it. So I think a lot of NFL players is holding back from actually standing up. Exactly. I think they actually holding back from standing up and saying something because of what Cap been through.
Yeah.
And then like you said, like the NFL, like I think they donated like $250 million towards the black. Like they trying to do everything now to try to.
I still don't trust you, nigga.
Right.
Like,
But then
No,
I
I
question
think
that
they
stuff
did.
because it's like, where exactly is it going? I mean, you could just say
Exactly,
that, and then you
yeah.
be like, but where is it going? Like specifically, where are we going to see that money?
And like you said, I think they just trying to save themselves at this point now. Like I don't think nothing's going to get saved until obviously it's a Cap get a job somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Cap,
Yeah, but
Cap don't
And-
agree with that.
But then even with the NFL, it's like they're saying these teams could sign him. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's up to an organization to just sign him. It ain't the league offices saying don't sign Kaepernick.
And it's been like that for a
You know what
while.
I'm saying? It's been like that for a while. Like, it's up to these teams.
For
It's
me,
these teams.
For me, that doesn't
take
remedy
his name
it
out of
though.
Take all of that out of
No,
it.
it don't.
What
They was
player
wrong.
It has been just out of a sport for 4 years and just comes back and gets a contract. Like I don't think it, at this point. I don't think it has anything. I don't think right now he should even be playing football right now. I just don't think like as of now it's a talent thing. Like back then you could use that, but now I don't think right now you can use it. It's like you said, it's 4 years after the fact. He's 4 years older.
True.
He's not playing the same. He's not playing game speed. Like even in workouts, he's doing like that's workouts. It's plenty of players that look amazing in workouts. And when they get on the field with other players, they look like
Take
shit.
a hit.
Right,
Yeah,
or
like,
take
so it's
that
like,
hit.
At this
Yeah.
point, like I don't think they need to get Cap a job to resolve it. I just think going
Right,
forward,
definitely.
if somebody else decides to, like Baker Mayfield, for example, he said he's going to kneel. That's a white quarterback. You get what I'm saying? So going forward, how y'all treat him, how y'all treat other players that know. I think that means
J.J.
we're giving
Watt.
Cap a job right now. Like you get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if we give you a
Fight
job
for
right now,
changes.
y'all gonna have a problem with that too.
All
But
right.
now y'all giving him a
So
job.
I want to say the fact. I mean, right now, Kaepernick is probably better than half of these backup quarterbacks that's out there.
I think
Is
he
that
might be
a
better
fact
than-
or
I think
an
he's better
opinion?
than half of the
I think he's better than
maybe
a quarter of
three.
them. Like, maybe like
According
70.
to a half, but regardless, I think he still deserves a chance. You could put him through training camp and even preseason before you make them cuts down to the 50 to the final 53-man roster. And if he don't make the final 53, that's cool. But for him not to get an opportunity at
Yeah.
all, I
Yeah,
think
you
it's
know,
crazy.
But back then, what was he asking for? That's a big thing too. Because
But it's up to him though. It's up to the team and him to
I don't think it's about the
mutually
money
come
at
together.
all.
I think
back then,
No, now I don't think it's about
no,
the money.
yeah,
Now-
but
now-
back then that was a big thing too.
now
are you
it's
gonna
like-
pay this backup quarterback that's going to bring all
you
this
gotta take a
attention, all this
chance.
money?
Now it's like, all right, look, they gonna offer me the vet minimum. Cool, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna show them what I could do. And if you could do it, cool. You could be the number 2, number 3 quarterback for all I care.
Yeah, Colin
But
Kaepernick is
these
too-
teams,
was
but
too
these
good
teams
to
got to
do
give them a
that.
chance though. Like that's all they want is a chance.
Quickly to your point though, so I think, what was the quarterback that the Redskins brought back? What was his name? The black?
Alex Smith?
No, it was a black guy. He was out of the league for like 3 years, and he was never like a proven starting quarterback. But he came back. He came back and started like 2 games, not this past season, but I think the season before.
I don't know.
At the end of the year,
He must
Black
have stunk.
quarterback? You said
black quarterback.
He must have
The
stunk.
Redskins?
When we go into edit, I'm gonna have to throw his name in here. I cannot remember his name.
He
yo.
must have stunk.
Don't throw his bum ass in here.
No, but this is to my point though. He was able to come in and start 2 games for him, and they gave him an opportunity. And it's at the same time, I'm still thinking like, all right, Cat's been out for 4 years, and it's just like, it's still the same point to me that I just don't think that being out of the league for 4 years, Cap is going to be that much of a difference maker in any situation. And I don't think it's going to be a remedy for anything as far as the social injustice that we have for black people and the movement that he's originally started as, to kneeling. If we bring Cap back with any other team, he don't start, but he's on the team. It's just like, is that a victory? I don't think that is. You get what I'm saying? Like now you just there. And now it just looks like the NFL, to me anyway, is just on some shit like, again, we got it wrong, but we're trying to make it right. And it's just like that. I don't want to see that. I don't need that, yo.
That's why I saw what's the Pete Carroll? Yeah, I heard he said this the Seattle coach.
Yeah, coach. Yeah.
He was saying he was like one of the only people that had him in that had
Can you
Kaepernick
look
in
that up for me?
for a workout, whatever.
The,
And he ended up coming in and he didn't even
2
work
years
out.
ago. Black
Who?
dude.
Cap.
Yeah. Cap didn't even work out. They came in and was talking to him about if he was going to continue to kneel if they signed him or what kind of. I don't think they ever wanted him. And Pete Carroll, and he's coming out saying that he basically was wrong and that he should have signed him and he feels bad and all. He just keeps a story going on. There's been a couple stories out this past week about that. Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of it.
Are you talking about Josh Johnson?
Josh Johnson. Thank you. You know that's who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Josh Johnson.
Because he was a backup quarterback for Tampa Bay for a long time.
But he was out
And
the
then he
league
missed a
for
couple
2
years.
or 3 years. And
I think he
came
went to
back.
another league, the CFL or something.
And
So
that-
he wasn't just totally out of football like Kaepernick was.
Which is another good
Another
point, though.
yeah.
So,
I think he might have been in the CFL, and then he wound up coming back.
And then
He stunk,
when
too.
didn't Jay-Z or somebody arrange a workout for Cap and he just like did his own thing for that?
I
Yeah,
don't have the
move
full
the same.
details
Man,
of
he
it.
did his
but it
own thing
was
for that. So
like-
it's like that's like it's not like I said. It's, don't get me wrong. Like we said before, they had something to do with him being blackballed and all that, but he didn't help his case either with the
Definitely
shit he
did.
was doing.
He did.
Like so,
But at the
it's
same
like,
time, it was like everybody was trying to control him too. It was like, no, you're not gonna tell me where I could go and work out and stuff neither. And then they didn't want they only wanted certain media around too.
you can do that.
He wanted all the media around. He wanted all the media there to see him. Remember, the NFL was only letting certain media go to this certain field that they wanted him to try out at. And he was like, no, he gonna go somewhere else where all the media could come, where everybody could come and see.
Yeah, but I feel
That
I
matters.
don't want to stress this. I don't want to stress this too long, but I feel like if you're trying to work at this job, you don't like if they tell you come in for an interview, you don't tell them where you're gonna get your interview at. Like
That's true.
you show up for your interview. Like,
That's true. That is
like,
true.
he just did whatever he wanted, and that's why I
He
just
did the
feel like,
most. He definitely
You know,
did the
like I
most.
said, like,
Yo,
he
that's
had to tell
fucking
us-
wild, yo. You think about it, yo. Somebody
did
bring
the
you to the
most.
interview, be like,
But
nah,
it's
you need to
funny
come to my
because,
crib.
like 2016 and
Yeah, where my
17,
homies is at.
in 2016
Yeah.
and 17, when all this was happening, we was talking just like you talking.
Yeah.
And now that this George Floyd situation has happened, where the actual cop kneeled on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, now be like, oh yeah, dang, that's what Cap was talking about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So now Cap's sitting there like, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been telling y'all this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It's crazy how everything it just came full circle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, we gotta get ready to wrap it up, guys. We had another good week, episode 8. We want to thank a few people, starting with Lane's Carpet Cleaning. Give them a shout out. Good Space Studios. We want to give a shout out to our follower and supporter, Respect, Kyrie Luna, for the donation that she gave us.
Yeah, I'm about to get my pizza
So
now. Thank you.
Thanks again for that.
We can't get none.
I encourage you to go check out Respect, REESE, Respect.
Shout out Reese.
Shout out. We'll see you guys next week.
Wait. Cool. Top guy cameo
Yeah,
last
we
week. Cool
got
guy
Cookie
get
Top.
cool guy get his cameo.
I mean, what's up, y'all?
Cool.
What's up, y'all?
Background, but being here.
So I'll see you guys.
Cool.